9Z heading towards the ramp. Two pairs of Julies out for the CT side. Oh, Henny takes one in the face immediately. This is awkward. This is not the beginning of the pistol run they were looking for. 9Z are being very careful indeed. Vinny's in a forward position, from what I can see on the X-ray. However, it's not going to help them as far as B is concerned.
Pretty slow response down to this B site. They're finally rotating down vents now, which does give them fast access to try and deny. Instead, they're playing a bit far back. Smoke down in the face of boltz. So not going to be easy to deny this bomb plant. Meanwhile, Vinny has come through on that flank. The aggression pays off. Now they've cleared out ramp. That might allow them to cut down on the positions they need to clear as they go for this retake.
Managed to keep 4 players alive for the time being. boltz creeping through. Still not going to be easy one, but the frags are coming in. They don't have a kit, but as long as they get their kills fast enough. 2v2. What is happening? Oh, I'm so confused right now.
I think that door wasn't actually open. I think it can't have been.
What is going on? Like, Henny, every camera is Henny, and they're looking at each other through a door which is closed but appears to be open. Like, this is like commentary maximum difficulty.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? Man, how bizarre! I've never seen that before.
No. Okay, okay. Maybe it's because they were spamming it like back and forth. Maybe that got the got the server confused.
I've seen many strange things. I've seen GoTV bugs. Oh, sure, I'll get to it in a second, actually. Let's have a look and see what happens here. 9Z forcing their way through to the A bomb site quickly, but nothing to show for it other than positioning. They've lost 2 players with no response thus far, and it's getting worse for them. This is so fast. 1v3 for try. What a disaster. Lightning fast disaster for 9Z. Supposed to dance though. To get his reload in. Minute 10 on the clock for try. Both got rifles though, Imperial. One is a scout, but still. This is a solvable problem. But a very big problem indeed it is. Did Henny see him, I wonder? Don't want to kill too much of your own time. But he does want to use enough time to threaten coming from a different position. Waiting for the CTs to get curious now, and Joseph's doing exactly that. That's allowed him to get into an even stronger position. And now Henny doesn't even need to peek from Palace. 30 seconds on the clock. How does he clear the CT vent as he exposes himself to the rest of the bomb site? This is a very difficult quest, and it's not going to go in his favor. Well then, a fast blast into the A bomb site ends in disaster for 9Z.
Yeah, that was a quick round attempted. Always scary for opponents forcing. See just the utility maybe making it a little awkward. Try attempting to manufacture something at the end here, but left in a too tricky position. And so now it's Imperial who have got a good chance to get off to a great start.
Yeah, that was very different indeed. I was going to say, I've seen GoTV bugs where one of the CTs had a T costume on and vice versa, and had to commentate a few rounds like that, but that was a new one. Not as bad as it used to be though, GoTV. Still have floaty stickers sometimes. Kind of neglected by Valve. I do wonder what one in CS2 will be like. Still got people running without their legs moving. In that respect, it's nice to see that Counter-Strike is still Counter-Strike. And it's cool that if you did the glitch in CSGO to put a name tag on the C4, they actually gave a slot for it in your inventory so you can equip it in CS2, which is awesome.
Ah, very cool. Very nice. Good to see constant updates as well, CS2 is getting. I think now that it is, more open beta, it's definitely good to be constantly adjusting things. I'm glad that that's happening. We're also just not used to it with CSGO, but yeah, for a new game, definitely need it. Well then, 9Z with very little to work with in this round. So that strong start that they were potentially going to get on their T side of their map pick has quickly crumbled for them. Jota needs to be just a little careful. The only way you can lose this round really is by giving away a gun. And that incendiary has not gone according to plan. Straight into the smoke. This should be good range with the AK against very limited weapons of 9Z.
Boltz could be the risk taker. He will see that there's a lot of people heading towards the ramp. felps is here for the cleanup. He needs to get out there, hide around the corner. That's the big gun taken away. Not checking the right corner though. Now it could get quite costly. Trice has the bomb and he has a minute on the clock to go to A or to go to B. He's got a fair chance at a 1v1. Goes all the way outside, that will kill a lot of his time. See, Henny's being proactive about this because this has become awkward for the squad of Imperial. 30 seconds remain. So much opportunity lost. Holding for too long on this occasion. That was a scary situation for Imperial, but Henny is never one to shy away from taking the brave decision. 3-1 Imperial. Time for the full buy for 9Z.
Yeah, in those sorts of rounds, you saw Try, he almost is actually just baiting his teammate to an extent, because you have such little weaponry that if CT overlooks the fact that you're in that corner because he thinks you'd be helping your teammate, he can actually get you an AK, maybe a bit of extra damage. It's not always a bad idea. Now in this one, early fight goes the way of boltz. He's getting pretty aggressive around this squeaky position. Really exerting some pressure there. Could make 9Z a little nervy about this play. They had some players on the roof setting up nades. Well, they've lost a player early. Utility is up from Imperial. It's not going to be easy for them to pounce on this A site now.
One minute on the clock. Surplus grenades left on the roof for Try. Looks to be a late one for 9Z. The time they're looking for here on the clock. 40 seconds maybe. Oh, felps just about didn't see one of those T's, I think. They found perfect timing to swing towards the garage at the very least, or towards secret rather. 30 seconds on the clock, racing now towards B, and it'll be easy for Jota. Quick bursts. Trying to offer something towards the A site with utility. But racing down towards B wasn't the one on this occasion. Easily dealt with by Imperial. Not much of a challenge on this one after getting that initial kill in for Imperial. Be quite happy with this.
Yeah, and maybe on reflection, I would say that Imperial have got a pretty damn good chance on Anubis, but this Nuke map, I know it's not great statistically for Imperial, but they just look so good against Fnatic. It was a really close map there. felps was looking solid on yard. Henny with the AWP was doing good work. So even though it is a strength for 9Z, even though they played FaZe incredibly close on this map, they took FaZe to 30 rounds yesterday. It's a 16-14 loss in the end. This first map does have some potential for Imperial. They've got off to a really good start here. See in this round, everyone on 9Z on the same page with economy. Try, of course, that AK into this round, but the rest of them stuck on weaker weapons here. A lot of nades, though. Might see in a nade stack.
A lot of HE grenades indeed. 9Z really needs to do some damage in this round. Again, if it's going to have to be one of those halves where they have to constantly chip away at the CT economy until they break them and start to catch up, then that'll certainly be a focus for this round. They're well equipped for it as well to do some damage anyway. 3 players of Kevlar for the T squad. Jiggling from the pistoling players. Max Isley, he's so tucked into his monitor. In they go then. Pistolers will be the information men. DGT able to escape. Now they can try and create some space for this AK-47 eventually. The bomb's being shown at the hut. 1 kill so far, not too shabby, with 3 still standing for 9Z. They'll want at least 1 more, surely.
Still sticking around, but wins the fight. Felps with a solid cleanup at the end there. Nice start from Felps. He's been looking pretty solid on yard. And also really good to see boltz off to a great start in this game and on this map specifically, because against Fnatic, boltz had a pretty tough time on Nuke. Ended 16 for 31 in that game that went to double overtime. So seeing him off to a great start, I'm sure is filling the Imperial guys with confidence. Got the gun round out now for 9Z, but they've really got to get going here on the T side of Nuke. 5-1 down. Ooh, big damage onto felps. He's a little lucky to get away with that.
Fair few molotovs for 9Z. Oh!
Team kill. No!
Oh dear. Oh, that's awkward. That's very awkward indeed. Especially because no one's there.
Yeah, spamming smokes with no one there. Oh no.
That's really rough. Big execute coming through. We saw all those mollies earlier on. That will compromise the positions. Not finding the kills on the A bomb side either. This is the kind of round that 9Z needed. Keep the CT spending. Winning a round will help as well, obviously. Still early in this game of Nuke. Imperial won't want many rounds like this. Unforced errors outside. Compounded by problems inside. Everybody on the board now for 9Z. I think DGT was the last one to get a kill. Perhaps in the last round. So the next round might be a little nervous for Imperial, because if they take too many losses, they could be broken. What on earth happened with that team kill?
Yeah, it's a weird one because it's not like there was loads of chaos going down or there was like a T on screen that he maybe was trying to shoot. It must have literally been he was trying to spam the smoke and maybe felps did some weird movement.
Oh, he's just jiggling all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even blame him for that one, Henny.
Well, Henny switches straight to the AWP after the rifle betrayed him in the previous round. Actually going to play that towards ramp at the start of this one. While 9Z look like they might be focused on this A site. Smoke down, Max will try and move forward. Luda who's out first, but that's the bomb drop. They have to commit to this now. DGT with a snappy shot onto the second. The commitment still isn't here, and this is awkward for 9Z.
Very awkward indeed. 3-on-3, that bomb is also exposed. DTs are expectant. felps has got a very good angle as well. Nice follow-up with the incendiary. And he's trying David to do a lot. Still in it though. 2-on-2. Rex will continue. And he's got to be careful about where he chooses to peek here. Holding down 2 jobs as we can see. That scope will probably be heard. felps now isolated from Henny, and that bomb can maybe be rescued. Was he heard dropping though? Looks like he was. 47 seconds left. Starting to pop in now. Henny focus on that left-hand side and Dobbs in to save him, but he can't. He will trade at the very least. Dancing, jiggling on try. He's got 39 seconds. Doesn't have to plant the bomb just yet. Weapon at the same time. Has delivered the goods. That reload allows felps out. Now tries lost his angles. Seems he might know where felps could be. Oh, has he seen his head? Looks like he has. Try dancing, just about escaping. 23 HP. Oh, he's surely fully committed now. A free fire from Try and Felps. What an awkward fight for both. But it will be a round for Imperial.
I've been thoroughly impressed by felps on Imperial so far. His rating in the last 3 months coming into this event, it was definitely below 1. It was not great, but he just looked so composed there in the clutch scenario. A great start from boltz. DGT brought it back slightly. Then felps repositions, trades his teammate wisely. I loved the initial jiggle peek just to get info, wait for Try to plant the bomb. You see the patience there. He knows that Try has to move off the bomb site. Eventually figures it all out. Okay, felps, I was just bigging you up. That flash is not the one. But it's all good at the start of this round. It's boltz again fighting. Will fall in the flames, though.
And he hasn't even started working yet. And the score's fairly good for Imperial, but again, they are on the edge now as far as their money is concerned. Still time for 9Z to break them. Early 4-on-4 is favourable for the T side. As the smoke goes, Felps doesn't click his left-hand side. And then there were 3. This really creates problems for Imperial. Don't have enough people left to really cover all the choke points. And he's in a good spot though. Will he be checked for? Oh, he almost found both. So close. I wondered if he would have held onto the trigger there just for a second before firing. 2-on-3 though. Try waits for Jota. Rare miss from him. That was a chance to close out the round. The bomb spotted in the lobby and Buddha's been dropped. Awkward again.
Oh, nice from Imperial. Henny is the man with the AWP there instead of the rifle that was just there before. They get baited into it. Drop should be heard. Jota heard that player running down, so he can follow. He can stalk his prey, and Henny can arrive ahead of time, but Try still hits the shot. He's going to look for that bomb plant, but Jota is closing the distance, and Try has no idea where he's coming from. Easy cleanup from Jota. Another round for Imperial, but it got close at the end there.
Yeah, they keep passing the test though. They keep building, but they keep surviving also with only 1 player alive. And 9Z keep planting the bomb, which means they can keep buying. So it's like a reset of the round prior and the round before that. But still, Imperial are collecting the rounds. That's all that matters at the end. Great effort by Try. Great flank by Jota, not giving the sound cues, just giving the information to his team. Delivering the goods. 5 AKs on deck for 9Z. How deep does Try go? There's the incendiary for the hut, looking for a push. Not getting too crazy though. DGT on the other hand makes his way into the A bomb site. That's a very early 5-on-4 for 9Z once again. 1 minute 30 on the clock now. Max is already in a good position, so Imperial could be in some trouble this time.
Glad to see DGT trying to force some fights a little more, because he hasn't been too involved so far, but we've seen his aim can be very good. Now Max in position. felps not 100% ready for him. Imperial were able to bring it back from a man disadvantage in the previous round. This one looks even harder though. 3v5 to come back from. Can they find any way back into this round?
And he's still standing, which means there is a way. But 9Z have got time pressure. They will invite themselves into that A bomb site, perhaps with good timing. Will Vinny be checked for with the right timing? They're lining up for him, but he doesn't get any frags from that. That's surely a save now for Imperial. The round 9Z were looking for to some degree. The money's broken for Imperial, but they still have some very big weapons on the server. If those are standing at the end of the round, then who knows what is to come next time. No, Henny's going to get more aggressive.
Oh, there we go. Important round here for 9Z. Don't lose too many players at the end, but at the same time, know the Imperial's economy has been limited by some of the recent rounds being so close. To see Buddha just double checking the bomb just in case. 19 get their third round on the board. And for Imperial, it is going to be that poor economic position that they have to deal with. Good start to the round, though, from 9Z. Just getting DGT out through Squeaky. That's normally the one position on the map that you can find a fair 1v1 fight. You can try and work it solo if you want to. Exactly what DGT did. Once they got it into the 5v3, they didn't look back. So the full spy is in for Imperial, but this is 9Z's chance to try and break that CT economy fully.
Oh, surely
the
not
timing!
two. Unreal from boltz. Looking to punish the reload and getting way more than he expected. Again, the timing is perfect in more than one way for Imperial. This is a round where they really need to survive in the numbers and build that cash up once again. There are plenty of rounds to fight for. They could finish with 11 or 12 in this half. They could really have a rout if they can just keep on the correct side of that W in the L column. That is a fantastic way to do it. Bonus money with the MP9 as well. How do you even respond to this if you're the last two for 9Z? What else is there to be done at this point?
boltz is just being a real nuisance around that squeaky position. A couple of rounds where he's gone fully aggressive, a couple of rounds where he's just stopped the early 9Z pressure and movement in that position. Feels like he's been a very pivotal player in either Imperial's round wins or occasionally their round losses. 16 and 8. We still have a few rounds and a half left to play. Fantastic work here from boltz. MP9 aggressive, doesn't mind this close range fight. Oh, Buddha prefers it though. AK delivers a headshot. Won't lead to anything though. 9Z are just trying to create some space for them to save their two AKs. At least they have money, but that round really just comes around to boltz. Just good timing. It was such a high-risk play as well, but sometimes when you play with confidence like that, you find the timing window. That's all you need.
That's so brutal, especially for the guy in the back. You're just not expecting that. What timing to do it as well. Really crushing for 9Z. It's got to be so frustrating. There's nothing you could do when boltz just drops with an MP9 and does that. You just got to hold your hands up, take a deep breath and move on. 8-3. 9Z have to feel like this score could be so different, especially when you have things like that happening. But ultimately, it isn't. 5-round lead for the C2 side, who keep on winning, whether one man is standing or more at the end of the round.
This could end up being a fantastic CT side for Imperial. They keep this up. Really seen that massive pressure from 9Z towards Yard. You have an AWP in this round. Might look more in towards this position. Try and see if they can draw some rotations. See Imperial using a good bit of utility, trying to spam these smokes. He's able to get across safely, just with a bit of damage taken. Something Imperial have to be aware about. Saw their Jota already down on B ahead of time. Actually rotated 2 CTs down to B here. So maybe they've left some other areas of the map vulnerable. Including Yard right now, and David is going to make the most of that. He's going to start moving on up in behind. Yeah, these A players have got to get aggressive. They've got to be scared of that Heaven Wrap right now.
Doesn't look like it's too much of a consideration, although we see felps is on the way now. So perhaps they are starting to wonder, and you can see their forward positions as well. Indeed, concern is a little rife for Imperial at present. How awkward is this? They're just going to hold these positions. He spotted the bomb boltz. That is the bomb on the radar. They make their way into the site, and now it's a role reversal. How bizarre is this? boltz is afraid of every angle, and that bomb's been lost on the bomb site. There's a look from DGT, but really, who's in control of this round right now? It has to be Imperial. Look at the health remaining on these players. This is crazy.
What a wild round. I mean, the comms from Imperial were clearly good enough there because those 8 players realized we can't just sit on the site and let ourselves get flanked. We have to go ahead and go aggressive into hut. That worked out okay for them. And then it looked like felps maybe just flanked up the ladder. I think that must have been how he dropped that bomb towards the site there because he was playing towards ramp. It was a big risk there going up the ladder. He didn't know if there was a player just waiting for him. Yeah, he did exactly that. They just weren't ready for it. Denies the bomb. Then he comes back. Big damage onto the other players means it's another round from Imperial. They are really starting to run away with this now.
Oh!
Okay.
Adios, amigo. Nice entry from 9Z. And he's never shy to announce the position of the AWP. The pot shot through. He'll still keep them entertained and drop try, make it a 4-on-4. It gives them an idea of what is or could be compromised on the map. Silent now as 9Z regroup together. Max in secret, the rest towards A. Oh my god. Wasn't expecting boltz though. There was to be a wrap towards the B bomb site. I think that's been cancelled now. And he's in a nasty position. Only needs one glance from the opponent to drop them. Trying to buy time for his squad now, wrapping around, but DGT will finally finish him off. 2-on-2 as 9Z plant the bomb. Joseph coming in from the back. DGT looking. Joseph's got the angle, but DGT's got the headshot. That leaves boltz in the clutch now, down to 15 HP, swinging with the flashbang. Surely, but his position is too strong here. How does he clear this corner? He doesn't. 4th round for 9Z. They've finally caused... Actually, there is a buy to be had here for Imperial. 2 players have got crappy money, but the rest have enough, and you know they're going to buy. That's why I stopped myself when I said they finally, because I know they haven't. There will be more guns coming their way.
A good group up there from 9Z, though. Faking out that B-sided play, drawing boltz down the vents, away from Squeaky. And then Henny just didn't have any rifle support. Very hard there for the AWP, even though he landed a couple of good shots in that round. To be honest, Henny has been very quiet so far on this CT side. That was a round where he finally got a couple of frags on the board. But unfortunately, can't lead to the round win. It's well worked from 9Z. They were pretty patient at just making him as uncomfortable as possible on the bomb site. Forced him out into the open, caught him from the other side. Then great shots from DGT, making sure that flank can't come in from Jota. Chance for 9Z to salvage this half. Pretty big round here for them. Got a good chance at 6 T rounds if they can win this one. Imperial would have a bad buy into the last round, but look at Henny, so aggressive. Doesn't get the kill, but big damage with that shot landing on David.
Gave him a spanking with that AWP. Being looked for though, Max is on the roof and will deliver the goods. Revenge enough for 9Z. Last 2 rounds of the first half then. Potential for 6, especially if they can finish off the rest of Imperial in this round. Vinny, not shy to hunt for something. Imperial don't want to sit on the 4v5 if they can help it. Only so far they can go in terms of aggression though. It is good for a little duel. Little peek. Dependable pair of hands. Patience is paying off for 9Z, catching Imperial, desperately trying to get back into this round.
That bomb should have safe passage down to B. And I think at this point, Imperial once they realize that bomb has gone down lower, will look to try and save what they can. Even that isn't for certain. Max has just spotted Gotta. So if 9Z wanted to, they could maybe hang around, see if there are exit frags to be had. Very methodical there, 9Z, clearing everything out on B, just making sure they don't get caught with their pants down. Will be Imperial trying to save. Again, Henny having a surprisingly quiet half here. Normally you'd expect him to be racking up frags, getting impact rounds on CT side. Just wasn't ready for that player who'd already dropped down from silo onto the top of main. That made it impossible for him to fall back. Once they lose a further player, the round goes wrong for Imperial. 90 give themselves a chance to get 6 T rounds, which I think would be just enough for them.
Been really hard to claim these rounds in this half of 9Z. As you mentioned, they may still finish with a reasonable score. Let's see what Imperial can muster around what they were able to save. The FAMAS will be out double MP9s. We know how dangerous they can be. Still fondly remember the shotgun plays from JW back in the day on Nuke. Iconic times. SMGs here though. More dynamic. INC looking to burst onto the A bomb site from what we can see. DGT's been lost early. That M4A4 will be very important if they get a chance, but Vinny won't. Denied by Buddha. Again, good on the entries. But Phelps will collect 2 with the French gun. Looking for a third now in. Max is in the smoke and won't last long at all. Double figures for Imperial at halftime. 10 on the CT side. But we know 9Z are coming from them after this break.
When I get advances, this increases chances. My life is like a prom, but there ain't no dances. I'm standing in this hall getting funny glances. I was raised as a youth, but was missing parents. I was raised by my granny, shit, I miss my granny. Hardly raised by my daddy, but I miss my daddy. Wasn't raised by my mother, but I miss my mother. I ain't get to know my mother, but I actually loved her. Strange, I made the studio my home. Every time I touch a microphone, I'm at home. Every time I hear a metrodome, I get in the zone. Every time I get into the zone, I'm usually all alone. home. It's where the heart is, pop. It's where our art is. Usually goes the heart is, pop. It's where our art is. Showing them that you are hip hop. Long as you finish, doesn't matter where you started. Home. When I win, I'm alone.
Second half is upon us. What do we expect from 9Z now that they made it through that T side? I think they maybe survived that T side to some degree. Again, they came close to breaking Imperial, but never quite broke them. I think we could have had a very different score if they could have made it all the way, but perhaps they did enough anyway. 5 rounds moving into the CT side. Definitely don't want to start with a 12-5 or 13-5 scoreline should Imperial win this pistol. So there may be some pressure on 9Z to deliver here on the CT side.
Let's see if they can manage it. I've got one of those dualies in play on David. They aren't even in towards ramp though, a common position for the dualies. So that means that Try is going to do his best. But this looks tough for him. He's bought time for a rotate. Shots are just not landing right now. It's Felps to find 2 openers in this round for Imperial. Now 9Z have got so much work to do, and they just cannot connect these shots right now.
So fast from Imperial. 9Z minimal time to respond.
A with the bomb. Brutal. They are back-to-back right now. Yeah, back-to-back. Okay. Finally, Max turns around. I don't think you can go up those vents, buddy.
I get nervous when Imperial are a 5vx on T-side Nuke and just slow things down. Let's not forget what happened versus Fnatic. Very crazy scenes. I don't expect that to happen today, though. But it's still in the backs of my mind. Max and DGT be hopeful to hold on to their Kevlar. This pistol is certainly lost. I do wonder what they will choose to do. Are they going to go for a force buy or not? Because, again, I mean, regardless of what they choose to do, this is going to be a very oppressive scoreline.
I will say, in the first half, 9Z won the T-side pistol, and then they got reset straight away and lost 5 in a row. So they know the pain of winning the pistol and then instantly getting broken back. And so they will indeed try to do the same to Imperial. They will try to break them with the force buy. Couple of rifles, couple of FAMASs in there with the pistols. Meanwhile, Imperial have pretty good nades and full rifles on their side. See how that works out for them. It's going aggressive early, but this FAMAS could be in trouble. The molly's forced him back. Quite spotted him yet. He's still searching. He still wants this fight. He'll find it. Good work there from Max. Damage onto Henny as well. Gotta be careful though. That jump back means Felps can see him. So 1-for-1 trade early on the yard play.
He did far too much there in a good way for his team. He made this really awkward for Imperial. 3.5 men. Sure, it's a film or something, but it's the reality for Imperial at the moment. And he carrying the bomb as well. Have to watch out for that. He can't fight. He can't take a duel with someone. 1 bullet and he is donezo. Felps hopping up towards heaven. Is this being considered by 9Z at present? I'm not sure if anyone's really looking in this direction, but as time moves further on, they may give it a consideration. Heading towards that 40-second mark, and Imperial haven't breached the ramp. Oh boy, that was a nervous one. Creeping towards that A bomb site now as Buddha has pushed forward. Be there. Will anyone be there to contest it, I wonder? Time to get that bomb planted. But he's got a good angle lining up for him. Trades will be here though. It's still a 2-on-2. Try can make his way up the vent. There might be a rifle for him. The bomb's been planted again. Henny's still got 24 HP on the site. 9Z, don't want to take too long. DGT's got a HE grenade as well, but can he find an angle to throw it? Surely not from Hut. Try just creeping forward. There's the HE grenade. There goes Henny, and felps has to play the bomb now. The only way DGT wins is if felps peeks and dies. Slowly falls back. It's an expensive round for Imperial, but it is 12. Kind of par for the course on Nuke. Heavy losses, but still success.
Oh, felps lands that final shot as well. Very close from 9Z, but felps again, ever reliable so far at this Pro League for Imperial. As you said, Max did really good work initially in the round. Aggression denied, even though Buddha gets in behind. Causes a bit of chaos. Imperial's still able to get that bomb down. Once that happens, the ball was in their court. Now Imperial know this round should be a little easier, so they've actually gone for 3 MAC-10s and maybe a fast play.
Good enough work by Vinny. Got to communicate the positions though. Yeah, this is the horror movie for 9Z at this point. Massive pressure for them to deliver on their first buy round and onwards. I think after the game Imperial had yesterday, I can't see them making too many mistakes, taking their foot off the gas too much with the lead they have. That's awkward. Definitely don't want to swing there if you're Henny. 13-5 then. That's how the half is going to start when the buy comes in for 9Z, so they better get their skates on. This is time for them to show us why they picked this map.
Yeah, they've got a lot to do here. This is got to be a real grind to come back into this one. But it's got to start with breaking that T economy, getting some early gun rounds on the board. See what 9Z have to show us. The CT side, no AWP for them. So these yard smokes could be good. That nade is nice. Max has been trying to fight yard aggressively. Looks like Imperial are aware of that fact. Oh, and Henny spots try over the top of the smokes. Advantage for Imperial, yard control taken. C9Z are having to respond, but feels like they're on the back foot right now.
It's a lot of success for Imperial with 1:20 on the clock. Map control, man advantage. Gives them the time to hang the CTs out to dry. They will surely know they are being waited on. Imperial looking for them to make a mistake, peek in the wrong place, try to rotate and get caught out. Beautiful from Max. This is going to slow things down for Imperial as well. If they want to deal with Max's position, bearing in mind the time on the clock, that's going to be quite the problem for them. felps looking to be playmaker. Does he go into the vents though? David's hiding in plain sight. 20 seconds for this bomb to get planted, and things become quite urgent now. boltz' patience, will it pay off? Oh, David's got such a good angle, but felps will save. felps is so important for Imperial. It is unbelievable. Between yesterday and today, how important his frags have been. There's another one.
Oh man, felps is killing it right now. boltz started this game so strong, and felps has just managed to overtake him. I'm so happy to see this from felps. He's in a bit of a slump recently in the last month or two, heading into this event. But he has really picked it up, showing why Imperial have decided to bring him into this lineup. Previously playing on Fluxo, he was doing good work regionally. Really glad to see felps back to his best. We know the flair he's capable of, and we're seeing it on the server right now. What's that initial shot from Henny? Try, maybe not aware that you can see just over the top of that smoke. Once again, a couple of final kills. Well taken. Imperial looking lights out right now. This is 9Z's pick, and it looks like it might not even be close.
Oh, the auto's out.
Love that.
Love an auto. With a pistol grip, no less. Don't love that. No love for DGT as far as boltz is concerned. That's been a really good angle for these Ts as well to see over that smoke. Catch CTs on that rotation. What a rough situation for 9Z. The motor never really getting started on Nuke. Heading towards a trash compactor at the moment.
Felps is going to let Max by. Oh, did he see him? I'm not sure. He is
Radar.
communicating. See on the player cams. So maybe he was calling that there were players down to B, and he'll call for them to come to A. He'll even get the entry. Felps doing everything to let his team into this A site and guarantee a 15th round.
Yeah, this is, I mean, credit to Imperial. 9Z haven't really been able to get anything going in either half for the most part. Always close, but never quite there. Heading towards game point. Not much to show for this game of Nuke. Now, we did see a crazy game yesterday with Imperial losing their pick, then winning Fanatics. Doesn't feel like they've turned up just yet. David's got 5 kills.
It's tough. He's meant to be one of the star players on this team. Oh, how does that not kill Felps? Is he on 1 health? I mean, that's just the sort of game he's having. Can't kill him right now. boltz also having a good game. End up flying under the radar a little bit with how Felps has showed up in this second half. I was expecting, you know, Imperial to look good here, but I wasn't expecting it to be so one-sided. Really impressive showing here from Imperial. One more round needed to close it. See Felps play such important positions on the team as well, playing towards yard in a lot of rounds. This time he's got players to assist him. Max was hanging around, but decides to back up just as Felps was running towards him. Felps is going to risk going through the smoke. Max isn't even watching. Felps doesn't realize Max is behind him, and that allows Max to get the double.
Such an important second kill. Slipping way behind the smokes. 9Z hanging on for now. boltz urgently looking for him. Max is winning in this one alone. So many angles to check though. And down he goes, shot in the back by Henny. Hasn't seen the bomb, I don't believe. 1 minute on the clock, 2v3. This is where things get super weird in the best way. Walking will kill a lot of time for Imperial. DGT on the flank. If he chooses to push through T-spawn though, he's going to be out of commission for a little while, bearing in mind the time on the clock. So he's trying to get a few extra steps in, take the risk. Here this info for his squad. Might never quite catch up though, but he is off to the races. 20 seconds, there's the door. That's the information 9Z were looking for. That flank will come in very quickly, but that means Henny's in the clutch. That's what we want to see. Where does he go now? Focused on decon. Ramp is a problem as well. CT's taking control of control. There's DGT. That's 1/3 of the information for Henny. They're swinging together though. Can he avoid being traded? The Tech-9 is out. So close, but not quite. Round number 6 is in the bag for 9Z. Much work to be done.
Good effort from Henny there. Realized that he needed to switch to the Tech-9 when those two players were running him down. Movement was on point to try and actually have a chance to isolate those further fights. Really nice round from Max, though. Seen him be active towards Yard. This time he waits for felps to make the first move. Punishes those two players taking a risk through the smoke. See Henny, he really tried to use the cover to his advantage. Had to go to the Tech 9. Allowed the riflers to get him out of there. See how much more fight 9Z have in them then.
For Imperial to make their play. Quite a few Molotovs in the hands of this T side. The flashes begin. It's going to be a fair few chain flashes, but Buddha will defend. Molly's containing as well. Beautiful work from DGT, drilling them one by one. Then he comes in to get traded. Just the one frag for Imperial. And 9Z reached the halfway mark.
Yeah, nice to see again one of those rounds from DGT where he shows how good his aim can be. Buddha awkwardly having to drop down with the flames, but did so well. Just great crosshair placement from DGT. Once you get the first kill cleanly, it really helps. The other players you know are going to be running into your crosshair at headshot height. Try came in with a final kill. He's starting to get going with that AWP. Smoke's down early though. Imperial wasting no time on the cross. That nade does decent damage. felps already here, but Max here to deny it. Big fight to win there from Max, who has been solid on this CT side in the recent rounds. We'll put that smoke down and slow Imperial from moving any further.
Getting that last one over the line can be quite the mission sometimes. Start to wonder if this is going to be one of those times. Might not be too late for David to come to life in this second half. So Henny and Vinny down towards Secret. boltz will offer some utility outside. Still 5 standing for 9Z. They are moving around somewhat. Heading towards 30 seconds now. Jota is alone up top. Does he try and pull rotation? Try and stop the rotation. Well, that's the bomb creeping into Max's position. And now the urgency is very high indeed. Molly's towards the vent. Jota's luck fails. Straight into try-zorp goes Vinny. 4 on 1, 4 on none. 8 rounds, they passed that halfway mark, 1 foot over the line. The run continues. How close have Imperial even been to winning one of these rounds since they got to 15?
Yeah, that is true. I see winning some consistent rounds and some convincing rounds now. Still that feeling that maybe it's come too late. But you never know.
Look at felps, man. That's really bad body language.
Let's get those heads back in the game if you're an Imperial player or coach right now. Want to make sure don't let this slip.
Yeah, and that's not
has been so important.
Yeah, and that's not calling felps out, but that's just an indication as to the vibe in the team right now. So this is really bad, but it's good to recognize that while you have the time to do that. They have 7 rounds to find 1 round.
Plenty of opportunities. Try playing a little bit of a dangerous game. You will be okay. It's that Tech 9 at range, but Vinny really trying to close the distance. Still not great range for the Tech 9, but he will start to move on in. There's a good rotate from DGT, though. It's left ramp open, so Imperial finding some gaps now. I don't know if they're going to be able to use them. to actually get frags, though, sadly. It looks like 90 have done a pretty solid job at handling these positions. Oh. It still feels like there's chances, though. It still feels like 90 aren't fully aware of some of these spots. I think they are now aware they've left ramp open, though. They've rotated 2 down to B. So Imperial not having that same chance to get a drop on one of the opponents, it is going to be very hard for them now.
Hello, Bomb. 20 seconds, and they have to die. What felps chooses to do. He is a little bit tight here. In the red. That might be enough. Can get any more frags out of it. Just the one. Suddenly, 90 have caught up pretty reasonably on the cusp of 10 rounds now. We saw the frustration from Imperial, not only at the lack of closing this one out so far, but the lack of even being close to securing that final round. I feel like that has not really been a thing. They'll take a timeout, refocus. We saw this from Fnatic as well on Nuke at 14-14, if I remember correctly. And they just went for a basic execute into the A-bomb site, waited out the utility from the CTs, dumped the util, dumped the mollies, and abused the numbers game. Just the very basics, the core basics of the T side to secure a round. Maybe we'll see something similar from Imperial since they were the victims of that play.
Saw felps doing a fair bit of talking there. Maybe he wants to get himself involved. I think in the previous round, he was in a decent position. If they had maybe 20 more seconds for him to arrive on that flank, could have got something going, but just arrived with too little time left. Let's see what the call is then. felps, so often this player towards yard. Got try aggressive on the orb. May look to deny some of these early plays. It's taking a bit of damage. There is a player up top as well. This looks very awkward for felps now. He's got to be ready for these players. He's somehow still alive, but try won't let him get out alive. Good shot with the AWP. Now Imperial fighting from a man disadvantage.
No lurker, no threat, no controller secret. Makes things very difficult for Imperial. They have enough can openers to turn things around, though. When does a simple execute into the A-bomb site come? I think it was quite an inspired play that we saw from Fnatic yesterday. Imperial might be in need of something similar. These failures are starting to rack up now. Max jiggling. He's got good shadow advantage here. Basically a free kill onto Vinny. The rest are nice and easy for him. And again, it's another round where Imperial are not making practically any inroads towards winning a round. They're not really a threat in these rounds. These kills are cosmetic. Does not particularly matter. They had a lurker outside. He died. Walked into a strong angle and got deleted by the man they call Max. Give me a basic execute into the A-bomb site. That's what I'd like to see. Although, we'll have to wait because they're not going to have the money. I'm not planting the bomb either. Plant the bomb, you'll be able to buy every round at a minimum if you get that far. But it does feel very far away at the moment.
Yeah, they must just feel like they're running into brick walls in some of these rounds when they're just rounding the corners, already a man down, and they're getting mowed down with those quick headshots. Similar round earlier towards ramp. They need to put some pressure elsewhere earlier in these rounds, and losing those early fights is really costing them right now. See if the pistols can allow them to loosen up. They do have an AK. Jota spent a lot of money on that. Oh, Vinny Might be going down to that nade. Good work from Try. He'll get back to safety. DGT will come to assist. So again, the opening move from Imperial gets them nothing.
What is the play? Fish for a pick. AK will have to be passed over to somebody with more than 3 HP. There's the molly. Counter flashes from the CTs. Imperial stuck in the mud at present, making next to no progress. But the creep from felps could be everything. Gives them some extra angles now. boltz delivers. There'll be a team kill involved, but that doesn't really matter. 18 seconds. They continue to creep forward. It's long, it's drawn out. It's another round for 9Z. The deficit is now just 4. How many rounds has this been for 9Z?
That's a good question. I think it's got to be at least 5, maybe 6. I think it is 6 in a row now. Good to see David making the most of his positioning as well. I think that's normally his biggest strength, catching players in the back, sometimes playing those lurky roles. He's been a bit quiet so far, so nice to see him stepping up. Now Imperial going for something fast here. Plenty of players grouped towards Yard. Will be slowed by this utility, but Max is aggressive again. How much longer can he make this risk, though? He does decide to drop back.
Sneaky. Very quickly down to Secret, there you go. A minute 12. This is better timing for Imperial. A 4th man will join them as tries on that rotation, gets popped. This might be the round for Imperial. Much faster, no loss early, but Max has got something to say about this one. Jota popped off. DGT trying to find his angles. They will swing through the smoke. This could finally be the end of the line for 9Z. This is the one that's needed. boltz avoids the flashbang, avoids shooting Henny as well. David doesn't know, but there's a trade. Max now in the 1v3. Vinny will finish off the job. Imperial will finally take it over the line. They gave themselves enough chances from that half-time score. Managed to conclude Nuke in the best way.